Hi, a very good morning. You're watching Trading Hour. I'm Ekta Batra and with me is Prashant Nair. Well, it's turning out to be a day where we are pulling back a little bit. So we have the Nifty, which is up around 0.3%, but the mid-cap index, which is underperforming, so down around 0.5% currently for the mid-cap index. Lot to reckon with in terms of stocks. And yes, obviously, NBFCs and the decline that we've seen in the stocks such as Indiabulls Housing as well as Divan Housing is top of mind. So both the stocks in focus. Yes Bank also weak at this point in time. Besides that, we have a lot of earnings to reckon with. So Reliance Industries, which will be releasing numbers today, and separately something like an Infosys, which is reacting to numbers that came out post-markets. Hi, Prashant.
Ekta, hi. I think we have to start with the housing finance companies, not just NBFCs. Of course, NBFCs is a lot more, but look at just 3 or 4 names. Indiabulls Housing will come up on your screen. It's basically gone back almost to the lows the lows of the recent turmoil that we saw. It is. So we got to about 765 and we're at about 827 or so right now. Let's go to Repco next. Repco is down about almost 8% or so as we speak. And Repco, by the way, is made a low of about 323. That is today. So that is at the recent low. Look at DHFL. DHFL, of course, had sold off to about 193 rupees. That is Dewan Housing. So that's still quite a bit off, but 246 after that sharp decline. And then you look at something like a PNB Housing. PNB Housing had gotten to about 840. I think it's at about 880 or so. PNB Housing, yeah, there you go. So 4 1/3%. I can go on. Look at Canfin Homes. Canfin Homes made a low of 218. It's at about 231. So, this is the pain, spot of pain, or whatever you want to call it, and that's where most of the concern is really coming out from. You can expand this universe and look at all kinds of other NBFCs as well, but this is where the pain was, and is coming back once again. So that's going to be the focus. We'll get an analyst to talk about this in terms of what new information market is digesting and the reason why the stocks are selling off like this. Sudarshan is with us from S2 Analytics, as always, on the top of the show. Sudarshan, morning. Thank you for your time. First up, a quick word. The sharp, steep sell-off from the day's high. 20 points left now in the Nifty. What would you do?
Yeah, good morning. Well, we went up a lot in a very short time. So what we are seeing is now a little bit of cooling off. It does appear that the Nifty is building a base at lower levels, and the worst of this correction is behind us. But markets won't go up in a hurry. They won't go up just day after day relentlessly. So this is really cooling off rather than anything else. I wouldn't worry about it. The trend still is that Nifty is building a base, and investors should be looking to buy good quality stocks at every dip. That theme continues. For short-term traders, I think a buying opportunity is emerging today. This is an intraday trade. When you buy the Nifty, keep a 40-point stop loss somewhere around 10,580, a little below that, and then see what happens. Maybe the decline is going to end by 12 noon, maybe. Individuals, all right. Individual stocks will have their own things to do. I have been very downbeat on NBFCs even before they started falling. Yesterday's rally was not impressive to me. Markets will rally a little, but that doesn't change the trend. NBFCs will make new lows, I think, even if the Nifty goes up. So for today, I have LIC Housing as a short selling opportunity. Probably you could sell anything in NBFCs, but LIC Housing seems appropriate. The second stock I have is for buying, and see how the contradiction now comes. ICICI Bank, that top class bank, is a buy. So NBFCs are coming down while the corporate banks are likely to stay. Even the retail banks, which means HDFC primarily, are likely to stabilize and go up. So we want to buy ICICI Bank. And the third is Dabur, which is outperforming today. Dabur has had a small correction. It's worth buying into. So look for good quality to buy.
Okay. Would Infosys also be in that category? Would it be a safe bet?
Well, certainly Infosys is good quality. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't buy it. I think they've rallied a lot and now they're facing resistance. So based on charts, I would avoid it for some time.
Okay. All right, Sudarshan. Well, let's get in a couple of Twitter queries then. Aditya has 300 shares of Tata Motors at an average price of 370. He wants to know whether to hold, sell or accumulate at current price levels.
But I really don't know what to say. I've been downbeat on Tata Motors from 500 downwards. On your show with you, I have talked about how Tata Motors is going down at every possible level. So for me, it is difficult to imagine being long or holding Tata Motors. But my suggestion is, see, it's always better to cut losses whenever you can. You switch to Maruti and Ashok Leyland. They are much better opportunities. Let us say that the whole auto business and auto industry starts going up. Then Maruti and Ashok Leyland will still outperform Tata Motors. So what has happened. Switch to these two companies, get out of Tata Motors.
Okay. All right, Sudarshan, we're going to let you go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in. But do remember, viewers, you can tweet your questions to @CNBC-TV18 News and @CNBC-TV18 Live with the hashtag AskCNBC-TV18. And our technical experts, as always, will be advising you on your investments.
Okay, Yogesh Mehta is also joining us right now on some F&O trades from Motilal. Yogesh, morning. What would you do?
Morning, Prashant. On F&O side, we have Bank Nifty expiry. So probability is very high that we may face some more volatility post 2 o'clock. Positional trades we have mentioned, recommending right now is one is RBL Bank, which is holding to its 200-day moving average since yesterday, and 538 is the level where it has closed yesterday. Today it is 546 around in the future segment. One can buy with a stop loss of 535 and target could be in the range of 580. The other one is ITC, again on the long side, the same equation. It is about 200-day moving average. The pullback has happened very strongly, and currently it is quoting at 288 levels, keeping a stop loss of 280. Target could be in the range of 303. The third one is a short side idea, and which is coinciding with Mr. Sukhani's name. It is LIC Housing Finance. We are recommending to go short at 439 current level in the future segment, keeping a stop loss of 450. Target could be in the range of 420.
Okay. All right, Yogesh, we're going to let it go on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and taking us through those strategies. Just want to point out a couple of the oil marketing companies also seeing a bit of a decline. So BPCL down 3% and HPCL down around 2% at this point as well. But anyway, we're going to take a break now. But before that, here's something to watch out for. The countdown has begun for CNBC TV18's India Business Leader Awards. The most coveted business awards are back with their 40th edition. The flagship event will honor the visionaries behind outstanding businesses. The jury round will be, in fact, held this afternoon, chaired by Uday Kotak, Sanjay Nair, CEO of Kohlberg Kravis Roberts, or KKR India, a firm that manages assets worth almost $170 billion globally, is our eminent jury member today. Watch him in action with other business leaders at the IBLA jury starting 2 p.m. only on CNBC TV18.